what does it really take to create a healthy behavior? Well, today I'm going to show you exactly what it takes to create a healthy behavior in 3 steps. So if you want to know how to change really any behavior, then you can learn it right here, right now. So grab a pen and paper, my friends. Now, let me start with a story. Years ago, I was struggling with bulimia. Bulimia is an eating disorder where you binge eat on food, you fill yourself up, and you make yourself throw up. For me at that time, my struggle was eating healthy, and I had no idea how to do this. And so I would try all these diets. I'd commit to eating, just healthy, chicken and broccoli for days and days straight. And then the weekend would come around and I'd binge eat on food, and I didn't know how to get out of that cycle. And it made me ask the question, what does it really take to change your behavior? Truly, not just for a moment, not just for 30 days, but long term. And there's different answers to that, but I'm going to give you my 3 best answers today for how to change a behavior, any behavior you want. But if you want to build healthy behaviors, I got something for you. So it all starts, my friends, with what I have on this whiteboard here. You have to start to get aware of where you're already at. Now, there's 6 reasons that we do things according to 6 Human Needs Theory by Tony Robbins. It's an incredible theory that shows you how human psychology works, right? So like he says, there's hundreds of goals, millions of stories, but only 6 reasons for why we do things, okay? And the 6 reasons are as follows. We do things either to gain a sense of certainty, it's our basic survival need, to go towards comfort, to go towards pleasure, or away from pain. Or we do things for uncertainty. We simultaneously have this need for uncertainty, for variety, for surprise, for adventure. Or we do things for significance. This is the need to feel special, unique, important, to feel valued, to feel like, I'm special, I'm unique, people like me, or I like me. You can even feel significant just with yourself. As you'll see in a second, there's many ways to fill these needs. Or you might do something for connection, because you want to feel a sense of warmth. You want to feel a sense of connection with people, or connection with God, or a connection with your body or yourself. You might also do something for growth, so you can grow, so you can expand, or you might do something for contribution. So the first thing you want to do, my friends, is you want to look at which of these needs is really driving your life. Now, in a very stressed society where we have all sorts of shit in our foods making us stressed, we're constantly scrolling on social media and flipping through the next thing. Even guys I've coached and they're business owners and they're making a lot of money, like tens and tens of thousands of dollars per month in profit. They're still scrolling on their phones. They're still going from task to task, trying to manage everything and keep everything together. That can make a person feel very stressed. In other words, it makes them feel uncertain, and therefore there's a drive, a desire for certainty. Because when things are crazy, you have no idea what's going to happen. All your nervous system wants to do is get me to certainty. Let me feel some comfort. Let me feel a sense of sanity and peace. Okay? So you want to get to understand where you are on this scale. Now, there's no right or wrong. You just want to look at which one you're driven by. Because I'll tell you something. Healthy behaviors, sometimes they can come through valuing certainty, but oftentimes they don't, because healthy behaviors usually aren't the instantly comfortable things. Healthy behaviors usually is discomfort up front, some pain up front, but in the long term, you get that growth, you get that health. So if you want to be truly healthy, you want to build some great behaviors, you're going to probably want to have growth somewhere in your top need structures. You're going to want to really value growth, because in order to have a healthy life, you're going to have to value growth, because most people aren't healthy and most people were not taught how to be healthy. Most people didn't grow up in a school system that taught them how to eat healthy. They didn't grow up in a system that taught them how to have good money habits, right? They didn't grow up in a system that taught them how to have good relationship habits, right? So all these habits we didn't build. So if you want to build these habits, you have to rearrange what you truly value, what you're focused on. And if you're constantly focused on certainty around gaining comfort and avoiding pain, and you're in this cycle of certainty, you're not going to be able to have the energy, you're not going to be able to have the confidence, you're not going to be able to have likely just the emotional state because of that habit to go towards healthy behaviors. One quick example with uncertainty. Well, anytime you do something new, if it's a new healthy behavior you want to build, you're going to probably have to face some uncertainty. Now, why is that? The reason is because uncertainty is involved in doing something new. You do something new, you're going to feel uncertain because you've never done it before. Once you do something a million times, it's like it's as easy. I can do this, it's fine. But when it's something new, you haven't done it yet. And therefore, you're going to really need to value uncertainty, because to do something new, you have to be okay with that. If you learn to like uncertainty, Eckhart Tolle has this great quote. He says, "Uncertainty accepted leads to aliveness, but uncertainty resisted leads to fear." So people are just living in these constant states of fear because they can't deal with the uncertainties of life. And I think a big part of that is because people are so disconnected from spirituality and their bodies and themselves, but really, if you want to go into new things and you want to grow, you're going to have to be okay with uncertainty, okay? So first off, look at this list and see, which one have I been valuing most in my life? Have I been really focusing on connection and love, or have I been really focusing on significance, trying to be the best, trying to be the one, trying to be better than others? Because love isn't like that. Love is about unity. Love is about oneness. Love doesn't care if it's right or wrong, or if someone's better or worse. Love just wants to love, it wants to share, it wants to connect. It's a very different person. Someone who values significance at the top of their list is going to behave extremely extremely differently than someone who values love first. Just think about in a relationship. If you always value significance, then you're comparing yourself to your partner all the time, hoping that they don't talk to other people because you feel less significant if they talk to another guy or girl, whatever it might be. But if you value love first, you still value significance. You want to be significant to them, of course. But if you value love first, you're not going to get as angry because you're driven by love and you want to hear them out first. You want to connect with them first. You want to really listen to them and make them feel significant because you love them, as opposed to trying to make yourself feel significant. So the first thing to creating healthy behaviors is understand what you're driven by. Remember, these are the targets that you're after. All humans, you, me, everyone, we're driven by these all the time. But what matters is what order you place them in. What I've learned to do is value growth, contribution, and love and connection in my top 3, and it's led to an incredibly fulfilling life. Because I value growth, so I'm constantly growing, I'm feeling alive, I'm building new skill sets, building healthy behaviors. I'm contributing, so I'm making more money in my business, I'm feeling a sense of fulfillment, like I'm really, impacting people, making people, have happier lives. That's really what I'm all about, having better lives. And then valuing love has helped me just kind of focus on myself a little bit less. Open up to God, open up to, what life's really about, connection, love. And that's what it's about for me anyway. So that's the first thing. You got to understand what's already driving you, okay? So you got that. Now the next thing you want to think about to create a healthy behavior is right here. There's a cycle called the meaning-making cycle, okay? It starts with a trigger. Something in your life triggers you. Something happens, somebody says something, somebody does something, or you think something, or you feel something, and that triggers a meaning. It triggers a thought, belief. A belief is just a sense of certainty about what something means. And our brains are constantly doing it all the time. In fact, before you clicked on this video to watch this, you would have had to assign the meaning to this video that this is good for me to watch. I want to watch it. That's just a meaning. It's just a belief. Like Shakespeare said, nothing is good or bad, but thinking it makes it so. And that's what meaning is. It's just believing something. It's placing a label on top of reality, which is completely neutral, you could say. Not dead, it's very alive, but neutral. And we place a meaning on top of it, and that meaning controls everything. And the next step, once you have that meaning, you start to feel an emotion. So if someone's sharing a piece of advice with you, you could say they're trying to change me, or you could say they're trying to coach me, or you could say they're trying to love me, you could say they're trying to help me, or you could say they're trying to insult me. Someone could do the same thing, but you assign a different meaning to it. Make sense? So when it comes to behaviors, you want to understand what are the meanings you are already assigning things. If you're one of those many people like I used to be that assigns the meaning of it's painful to eat healthy foods, then you're not going to end up eating healthy foods. You might push yourself to do it for a while, but deep down there's that underlying pain because you haven't shifted that meaning. So any behavior you want to develop, you just have to assign the meaning that this is pleasurable, this is good for me, I'm so excited to do this, I'm grateful to do this, and it's going to help you follow through on that behavior because that's what it does. Emotion leads to behavior. Think about it. How much different of a person are you when you're feeling stressed than when you're feeling totally in love and grateful? Two completely different people. Same physical body, same person you can see externally, but two different people, two different expressions. So if you want to master behavior, you have to master emotion. And you master emotion, my friends, by mastering meaning. That's what will give you behavior change long term when you shift the meanings in your body. So to share a story, recently I got sick. And I got sick because I was just pushing and pushing. I was traveling all over North America, seeing clients, and I was averaging about 1 flight per week, different time zones, different Airbnbs, so many different people, and constantly serving. So all this energy out. And what happened was I wasn't able to give my body the rest I needed, and I got super sick for 10 days. And I'm still just coming back from it now. Like today is actually my first day where I feel like, pretty decent. And I'm so grateful for that. But what it did was I had so much pain these last 10 days. It became so clear in my nervous system, not just a thought like, oh, it would be good to live a healthier lifestyle. In my nervous system, it was like, I have to take better care of myself because I can't do this. Even if I'm traveling and going all over the place, I have to find a way to eat healthy on the road because otherwise I'm fucked. And so what that did was it changed the meaning. And the meaning was, basically, if I don't eat healthy, all my dreams are dead. Because when you don't have your health and you're bedridden, what do you have? You have nothing. You can't chase your dreams. You can't love your spouse. You can't do any of that shit, right? All you want is to be healthy again. And so what I ended up realizing was the emotion was just so much pain. It was just like frustration because I couldn't do what I wanted to do, just sadness because I just felt like I couldn't do anything. I just felt helpless. It sucked. And that has led to behavior shifts. Like I'll tell you, the last 4 days I've had nothing but bone broth, organic chicken, and organic vegetables, just sauteed, no oil, no salt, just to kind of help myself heal. I'm obviously gonna, put oil and salt, when I feel a little better. But I've totally changed and I'm committed to it. Like I've made the decision that health is a must. So now it's my number one value. I've shifted what health means to me. It's no longer a thing that I should do. It's no longer a thing that takes away from my comfort. Not being able to eat the foods I love. Health is now essential and it's a gift, and my body body is a gift. Totally different meaning on health. Totally different meaning on my body produces a different emotion and a different behavior. And it's a cycle. These work like a virtuous cycle. Then what happens is, and I'll move on to the next one here, what happens is you start to take the proper action and you start to get results. You start to feel better. If it's the example is health, you start to feel better, and that starts to refuel the meaning. Oh, this is good. It's an amazing thing to take care of my health, right? And so this becomes a virtuous cycle, becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and that's what you want. Because this right here I'm showing you, it's a momentum cycle, but momentum, my friends, can work negatively as well. Momentum can work negatively as well. You can think that, let's use an example of business. Let's say anyone who wants to make more money, you have to build relationships. So let's just say you want to build relationships, you make some sales and, build your business. Okay. Well, let's just say that the meaning that you assign the sales process is, it's hard, it's boring, I hate getting rejected, it sucks. These are all the meanings you have attached to this thing called sales. Okay, so what does that do? That meaning makes you focus on a potential of, wow, this is hard and it sucks. And so it puts you in an emotional state of, this is hard. This is annoying. It's going to make you quit early. It's going to make you have less performance on the call because you're going to be in a worse state. And it might even make you resentful over a period of time because it's not something you enjoy, but you feel like you have to do it every day or all the time. And so you start to resent the very thing that you really want, which is the growth of your business. Okay? So what happens is you can switch the cycle. Okay? If you realize it, if you become aware of what's driving you, you can switch the cycle. Okay? You can switch the cycle. And the way you switch the cycle is by changing the meaning. Okay? If you change the meaning to sales and you say, this is a chance to really grow and expand. It's not possible for me to get rejected by people. If they don't want to buy my product or service, that's just God saying it's a misalignment right now. And that's what rejection really is to me. It's just not aligned. If somebody says no to me, it just means it's just not meant to be, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be personal, like, oh, I'm rejected, I'm so bad. Or this is just all childhood conditioning. So if you want to truly change your results that you're getting in your life and make these healthy behaviors happen, my friends, you got to shift the meanings. This means shifting the way that you see things, shifting the things that you do. Look how the way I'm using my body. It's like, bang, this is how I see things now. Not like, oh, yeah, I should probably work out more, while you're laying in your bed eating Cheetos. I've done that. Researching health foods while I'm eating shit foods. I should eat healthier. But actually being like, this is how I'm going to see things. This is what I really want. And that's one of the secrets, by the way, my friends, is creating a vision that inspires you so much that you want to go take action. If you feel like you have to take action, that's not very inspiring. That's willpower. That's push. That's going to run out. But I want to do this. I must do this. I'm excited to do this. That's inspiring. That's exciting. That's something that your nervous system can drive you towards. Not like you should go towards it, but really there's this pain holding you back. You're fighting against yourself. It's like pushing on the gas and the brake in a car at the same time. You want to have both those forces working together. You want to take the foot off the brake and slam right down the gas, baby, and go all the way. That's how you really create progress fast. That's how you create results. So this is the cycle, and it all starts with meaning. The meaning creates the things that you see, the potential you can tap, which then fuels the action you ultimately take, which creates the results. Because the results you get really is a function of the action that you take, and actually also the connection that you feel with God or source or whatever, because we also attract things spontaneously, sometimes without action. Action is a must. Most things are attracted by action, but as far as I can tell, there are things that happen spontaneously, synchronistically, that we didn't have to take any action for, just by our emotional state and our alignment. But if you want to really take control of it, the controllables are, you change the meanings that you have, and you change the meanings, all of a sudden action, the results all change. Is it making some sense how you can be driven by one force and it makes you behave totally differently? But if you just change the meaning of things slightly, it changes your emotions, you can behave different. Isn't that pretty cool? Now the thing is, most people think that the meanings are dictated by the external world, but you have to start to realize that you create the meanings. You're the one responding to things. You have to start responding and stop reacting, okay? And you do that by watching a video like this and taking some time to say, man, what have I really been, what meanings have I been associating to health? What meanings have I been associating to sales? What meanings have I been associating to my relationship? And what meanings do I need to really create the relationship, the health, the behaviors that I want, okay? So I hope you guys are really getting this. So if you would, write down 1 or 2 behaviors that you really want to create, and then write down the emotions that really drive those behaviors. So for example, in health, for me to be really healthy and fall through in those behaviors, I like to be in a state of excitement, of passion, and of connection. Because if I'm feeling love and connection with myself, I'm like, I want to take care of myself. When I'm tired and stressed, I'm like, just give me the first fucking thing that's around me, please. I want to eat something. I want to feel comfort. So you have to find out what emotions really lead to that behavior. And then you want to find what are the meanings that produce those emotions. And then you want to practice those meanings every single day. That's what affirmations are, visualization meditations, focus rituals. These things are all around training in these meanings so they become automatic. And what starts to happen, my friends, is your nervous system has been programmed to produce the emotions, the behaviors, the states that take you exactly where you want to go in your life. And that's when your life changes. When you have automatic mechanism that takes you where you want to go, not like you have to strive and struggle and push to get where you want to go. And the last thing I want to say, this is a bonus concept that many of you need to hear, which is that people are not their behaviors. So many of you have been very hard on yourselves for things that you haven't done. You've been trying to build these behaviors and you haven't been able to do it. All right, I've been there, right? I'd try to eat healthy, then I'd binge eat. I'd be so hard on myself. Like, I suck. Why can't I do this? Why am I so bad at this? But I associated me with the behavior. I thought that if I didn't do it, that I wasn't a good person, or that I wasn't good enough in some way, not disciplined enough, had to have enough will, smart enough, whatever, okay? So you want to realize that you aren't your behavior, so give yourself a freaking break, okay? Give yourself a freaking break and let yourself know that you are not your behaviors. That you are something beyond behavior. You are something beyond this whole meaning-making cycle right here, okay? And then the flip side of this is people that have hurt you in the past, they're also not their behaviors. That ex-partner of yours that hurt you, that did that thing, or your parent that did those things, that's not really who they are. They're not their behaviors. Behavior is a reflection of your human need structures, okay? Which is a reflection of your societal conditioning. So it's a societal problem, not just your ex or your parents. It's life that creates those situations. Now, I believe that everyone is pure in heart ultimately at the core. They have what Muji calls the light of truth right there at their core. Okay, we're divine beings. We're a soul. We're not just this brain, nervous system. We are a soul living in these flesh bodies. And that's what we are. We're so much more than just this meaning-making cycle, my friends. We're so much more than just our behaviors. So please give other people compassion, give yourself compassion, and start to decide, what is it that you really want in your life? You can have it. You can have whatever you want. I mean, if you're living in this world in 2025, in most countries in the world, you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want, okay? Because you can build an online business if you want to travel and make money. You can literally go online and meet people on dating apps, or go out and just freely talk to people and go meet people and create relationships. You can freely choose to start doing push-ups in your room. It doesn't cost you any money, okay? All you have to do is make the decision. That's what it costs you, a decision. And you probably have to let go of some things that used to give you comfort. Like if you want to get in shape, let's be honest, you have to let go of eating pizza every single night, right? If you want to have a great relationship, you got to let go of always having to be the significant one. You have to learn how to love people, learn how to open your heart. You have to learn how to not stop being so selfish. If you want to, build a great business, you got to learn how to sell people. You got to learn how to create a product that really inspires people, right? As opposed to just thinking that it should come to you or whatever it might be. So please write down anything that really stuck out to you, because these are the concepts that personally changed my life, and that's why I'm sharing them with you. I'm actually going into my annual retreat literally in just a few hours, but I wanted to give this to you guys first because we're going to be diving super deep into all of these individually, super deep into every single aspect of this, helping everyone who's coming reshape what these mean, helping them reshape in their nervous system what they associate pain and pleasure to, and doing that, it changes your behavior. And you have different behavior, you have a different life. So, my friends, thank you so much for your time and attention. I hope this served you a lot. And if you like this video and you want more of it, you're like, I need more of this. Please give me more. Give me more, brother. I want it. I want it. Well, fine. Comment it below, like and subscribe, and I'll make sure to make more just for you so you can keep growing and evolving and becoming the best damn person you can be. Lots of love, friends. I'll talk to you soon.